30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Well, hello everybody and welcome to Your Manchester. I'm Brandon McCaffrey and with me we have...
Hayley Cartwright, hiya, how you doing?
Hello, how have you been?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm very good. This is nice to have you in this
It's
side.
lovely, isn't it? We've got two porcelain skin people,
Well,
haven't
what can
we?
we say with the Paulus thing going?
I know, we had to sort the lights out before because we looked like Caspers, didn't we?
I like to say more like, you've ever seen Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
It's like the beacons are lit, Gondor calls for aid. That's literally how I see myself when I'm stood in the sun.
Oh, I know. My nickname is Casper, though, to be fair. My brother calls me Casper.
I would actually believe that, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
I
this is
genuinely
makeup.
would.
Look at my face, it's makeup as well. I'm so
What, white makeup?
Yeah, and also, this is as much as I tan. My dad says I look like I need a bath.
I love that!
I know. He's so cheeky, my family is so cheeky.
It is great that we're actually getting to work together because we're going to be working together on a live show as well, won't we?
We are, and it's on the 20th of July.
It is. At the 20th of July at Hope Fest at Hope Mill Theatre, we are going to be live. That's all of us. That's every single person of part of the Your Manchester team are going to be live on stage, which kind of means you should book a ticket.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Sue Devaney coming back in, actually.
Oh, I'm very excited for that. I'm excited, well, I'm obviously a little bit excited for Mark Bittlestone for personal reasons and also that he's a hilarious person too.
And also Denise Welch as
And
well.
Denise Welch, yes.
Absolutely
And we've
brilliant.
also got Shane Nolan on.
Yep.
You might even see us do a bit of song and dance, which is actually a reason you should buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Because I don't dance for anyone.
I
So
think that's
really buy a ticket.
enough secrets for them, don't you? Because
Yeah,
I
I think
think
so.
you've heard that we're going to be singing and dancing, so that should be enough for you to buy your tickets, because they're not dear, are they?
No, they're not.
Actually, I think they're cheap for us. I mean, coming to see
I mean,
us.
I cost a bit more than that normally, but if that's what they want to go for, that's fair.
We got you cheap this time.
But they actually have got quite a few tickets who are sold already, so do feel free to check it out now, get them in, because when it's gone,
It is gone, and it is part of the Hope Fest as well. It's
Yes,
outdoors. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait.
It's going to be great.
be
First up
fantastic.
tonight, though, we do have the amazing Paulus, who's going to be talking to us about their new show about Victoria Wood, which are going to be singing at the Brewers.
Yeah, about Victoria Wood.
Yes, quite literally.
Called Finding Me Friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finding me friend.
Finding Me Friend.
Please welcome Paulus. So please welcome Paulus. Now, I
Hello.
am saying that right, aren't I? I am saying it right.
You are? Yeah, absolutely.
I was worried. I was like, see if there's an amazing way of saying this that I'm saying it wrong. They're going to murder me. I didn't want to be murdered for it. But you've been a hard person to track down for this show. We've been trying to get you on for ages. And now we've finally got you on to talk about Looking for Me Friend, the music Victoria Wood. So first things first, why Victoria Wood?
Well, I was contacted. Sorry, have you lost me again? You're there.
This is just
Sorry.
a solo shot, don't you worry.
Oh, lovely. Sorry, we've been having such trouble, viewers, with our
you ready to
internet
come across
connection. I thought I'd lost them again. So why Victoria Wood? Well, when I was 10, my mum introduced me to Victoria's TV show Victoria Wood as seen on TV. Now, I'm not sure that either of you are old enough to know what that is. You probably only know her from Dinner Ladies.
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I'm definitely
Yeah?
old enough. And Victoria Wood is one of my idols. You looked at her, she was a woman, she was doing a thing, and as a small girl, you could look up at her and think, yes, I want to do that. Yes, it's possible. So
Yeah. You're absolutely right, and I think the other thing about her on stage stand-up persona that she showed on as seen on TV is that she was almost in drag. She wore trousers. She didn't ever wear heels. She wore trainers. She wore men's jackets, men's ties. Do you know she came second to Trevor McDonald in 1982 in Tie Man of the Year?
Did she actually?
Yeah.
But she's always that kind of person, because I know obviously I may look younger, but I did grow up in Northern Ireland. It was a different place. Where I actually grew up watching those old sort of shows. My mum was very much into them, so I grew up watching her on TV. And she
Yeah.
always was that kind of person who fought against the gender personality to what clothes were assigned. She's like, no, I'll wear what I want. And I'd say, I'm guessing that definitely comes into this type of show then.
Well, as you can see, I sometimes decide to wear what I want as well, in spite of the fact that it's a Wednesday and I'm a man. And when I think what's really lovely about A Scene on TV is that when I was 10, my sister was 18 and my mum was 45, which is the age I am now. And we could sit down and we could all watch that program together and enjoy it. And I don't, talking to people who are parents now, and I ask them, is there something that you can watch with your 18-year-old and your 10-year-old and you all actually like it? And they're like, it's just Peppa Pig from start to finish for most parents, I think, isn't it? And so
I'm sure she had some wild adventures as well.
So tell us, you're actually performing at Brewers, aren't you, in the village? So tell us about the show.
Well, the show is a two-hander. It's myself and a piano player. His name is Michael Ralston, and he, as well as working with me and among many other people, he's the newest member of the cabaret super troupe, Fascinating Aida. He's joined in. He's joined them as their accompanist on stage, but he's very much more than just their accompanist. And so Michael and I have been friends for 25 years, and we bonded, and this is the story of the show. It's completely true. We bonded through the work of Victoria Wood, and our contention is almost that it was like a modern Polari for us gay boys growing up in the 80s and the 90s. And you could work out whether somebody sort of, at least wouldn't beat you up, at most maybe understood your sense of humor when you offer a Victoria Wood quote at a party when you're chatting to people. And that's exactly how...
People had handkerchief, others had Victoria Wood quotes.
I think if you're in a group with lots of other people that you don't know and you say to them, aren't prawns an aphrodisiac? If they don't know the answer is, I wouldn't put it past them, then you're not going to be friends with me. It's as simple as that. So
it's a fair choice.
Definitely.
So what kind of songs can we expect to hear within this show?
Well, in spite of my better judgment, because people insisted it be part of the show, I do, of course, have to finish with the ballad of Barry and Frida, which is Let's Do It, which is 13 verses. And even though I've been singing a lot of the songs that I do in the show, I've been singing since I was about 10. I've never attempted to learn or perform Let's Do It. And let me tell you, it's not terribly easy to do.
Does the hostess trolley appear in that song?
There isn't any props that appear, but yes, I sing that line, if that's what you mean. I'm not bent over anything at any point during the show. Social distancing says no.
Or is it just a walking kind of event?
Well, I would assume that I'll be sold out within minutes of this airing, darling. So I would say that it's probably best to book. There are actually 2 shows in one night because we created the show for the Edinburgh Festival, and so it's only an hour long. So we're doing a 7 p.m. and a 9:30 p.m. and they're both available on Out Savvy. So just type in "looking for me friend" or type in Paulus, and probably it will also come up for the 9th of July via Out Savvy.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show. We're glad we could finally grab you for it.
I know.
I'm so sorry. I've been on the run for crimes against makeup, but I'm back.
Well, thank you very much, Paulus, and enjoy the Thank you so much to Paulus for coming to talk to us. So that's right, if you want to check it out, get some tickets online. It's going to be at Brewers on the 9th of July. And next up, we've got we've got you in the studio. This is very strange. Oh, I'm not ready for this. We've got Hayley Cartwright to tell us what's on the box.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's On The Box. So, what have I got for you? Now, the film The Father is out in the UK on the 11th of June. It stars Anthony Hopkins as an elderly man who's starting to experience symptoms of dementia. Now, you'll remember that he won Best Actor for Silence of the Lambs, of course. Well, he won Best Actor for this as well. Now, there's also Rocks. Now, that's a film about a young teenage girl who finds herself struggling to take care of herself and her younger brother because her mum actually abandons them. Now, the film was nominated for several awards at the BAFTAs recently, including Outstanding British Film and Best Actress for Bucky Becray. Now, casting director Lucy Pardee won Best Casting, and this is currently being shown on Netflix, so that's definitely on my list. The film Yesterday. Now, I saw this last year, but it is now showing on Netflix. It's absolutely brilliant. After a global blackout erases humanity's memory of the Beatles, a struggling musician performs the band's music and becomes a sensation. It stars Hamish Patel and Lily James. Now, on a totally different note, the next thing on my list is a series called The Sweet Tooth. It's about an apocalypse. It's arrived, and so did human-animal hybrids. Now, Gus is part boy and part deer, with a massive heart. Now, that's it from me for this time. I will see you next time, and remember, stronger together. Bye.
Thank you very much, Hayley.
You're welcome.
I'm so looking forward to watching those things, especially Sweet Tooth. I read the comics whenever I was a kid. It's a very incredible and heartwarming story, so if you do want to check it out, please do.
Definitely.
What have we got on next then?
Well, next we have Carol Ann.
Oh, yes.
She is sharing a clip from the Whitehead Files.
Yes, Carol Ann has her own show called The Whitehead Files, in which this week she's going to be showing it here as she talks to Professor Erinma Bell, MBE. She's a peace activist who's recognised for her work in tackling gun crime in Moss Side and Longside. Let's have a watch.
We have Professor Erinma Bell, MBE, and she's a DL as well. She's a peace activist and she's recognised for her work in relation to gun crime. We'll talk about that in a minute. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're looking fabulous, looking fabulous.
Thank you.
You were in London, I believe, before you're a Mancunian.
I am a Mancunian, born and bred.
Nice
yes.
one,
yes,
nice one,
good.
I am. But you're in London?
Yes, moved down to London, you know, for, as I say, you know, better prospects, better job prospects. I actually got promotion in the job that I was in up here in Manchester. I was promoted to a position in London for the same organisation. So that's what moved me down. My partner, who is now my husband, he'd already moved down as well for a better job, and so yeah, we both moved down to London. Was living and working in London for about 9-10 years.
I want to take you back because I want to go straight in and take you back to that time when you came to Manchester to visit with some friends and something happened. Talk to us about that.
Long story short, one evening we were going out around Christmas time to a Christmas do. There were 6 of us in our car, and we had the people carrier then because of all the children. And as we were approaching the house, we'd come out of the car. As we were approaching the house, I was in front of my friend called Charlie, and unfortunately what happened was there was 3 guys at the doorway. One of them kind of like tugged him on his jacket. You know how someone tugs you to get your attention?
Yeah.
And as he took his hood down, as he turned around to see who wanted his attention, these 3 guys stood at the doorway, just brought out weapons and just opened fire on him. Just like that.
God.
Yeah. I remember seeing him fall to the ground. Didn't know what was going on because, you know, gun crime wasn't part of our lives. You know, it wasn't actually physically part of our lives like that. You know, you hear about it, you read it in the paper, you listen to it on the news. And there was a part of me that felt, you know what, gun crime, gang crime, that happens to them. You know, it happens to people like them. You know, I never expected that one night I'd be part of them. You know, me and my husband were. And he was shot 12 times.
12 times?
Yeah, which we didn't know till afterwards. It was just an awful, awful night. He did survive because I made the 999 call. I had to, you know, at the time, I remember my husband picked me up and ran across the road. And it's when I said to him that, you know, it's Charlie. He said, no, they can't be shooting Charlie, because as far as we know, you know, no one's going to shoot any of us. We haven't done anything.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, it is. It's Charlie, you know. So I ran back, you know, fool. But I ran back.
Instinct, though.
Yeah, it was. You know, it's that. I mean, now when I look back, it's that, you know, fight or flight.
Yes.
And I think I stood there, you know, argued, shouted, rang 999. So many things happened that night. Took 45 minutes for emergency services to arrive, even though we were 5 minutes down the road from the hospital, MRI. They told us they had to do a risk assessment first before they come into the area. So it was like, so who does our risk assessment? What about us? I remember speaking to the call handler and, they go through the usual, what's happening? I said, my friend's been shot. I need an ambulance. My friend's been shot. How do you know he's been shot? Because people shot him. Are you sure he's been shot? Yes, he's been shot. Where's he been shot? I don't know. So how do you know he's been shot? I said, because I saw the people shooting him. So how many times has he been shot? I don't know how many times he's been shot.
Wow.
So what emergency service do you need? I need an ambulance. Are you sure you need an ambulance? Yes, I do need why do you need an ambulance? Because my friend's been shot. We're going around in circles. And then, I said to her, you know what? We need the fire brigade. She said, I said, yeah, there's a fire. I said, we need the fire brigade. I said, we also need the army. We need the army. I said, you know what? We need the fire brigade. We need the army. I said, even send a fucking helicopter. I said, and you know what? We might just get a fucking ambulance. But even after that, do you know they wanted to prosecute me for verbal abuse to the call handler?
What?
Mm-hmm. When they told me that, I said, at first I was like, I didn't say anything wrong. When they pressed the thing, I was like, yes, that is me. I said, but come on. She asked me, it was about 8 or 9 times, she asked me what emergency services do I want. And I told her every time I said I needed an ambulance. And you know what they told me? She couldn't understand my accent.
Manchester born and bred. You have a Mancunian accent.
Right.
Report an incident in Manchester.
Right. And she couldn't understand.
And she couldn't understand your... Okay.
So I insisted on knowing how are your call handlers trained. Because, she was not keeping me calm. If anything, she was like, stoking the fire in me. So I said I wanted to see how they were trained. I wanted to know what you train them in, how are they supposed to speak to people? How are they supposed to keep people calm? Because I said she didn't keep me calm. If anything, because I don't normally use swear words unless I really, really have to, unless someone really winds you up. And I said, that's exactly what she did. I said, this is a highly emotional, like you said, situation. So I wanted to know, how are they trained? I wanted to know, why does it take 45 minutes? And if there is a good enough reason, I said, then we all need to know. As far as they were concerned, they being, the police, we had something to do with it. We must have known who shot him, because people don't just come out of nowhere and shoot people. Well, unfortunately, yes, they do.
Yeah, they do.
And I said, you know why they do? Because I remember also the police asked me, which way did they run? I said, run. They didn't run. They walked. So a lot of things were learnt from that night, where I felt also that I had to stand up and speak, because even our peers, some of our peers, local people, neighbours, friends, were saying, we don't speak to the police around. You shouldn't speak to the police, and it was like, for me, it was like, yeah, but I've just seen an injustice being done.
Yes.
I have to speak.
Yeah.
We were warned not to speak to the police. We were threatened not to speak to the police. We then quickly realized the reason why, the murders or the shootings, and the shootings were not being solved, because people were not talking to the police and the police were not talking to the people, and so we became that bridge in between. We were saying to local people, if we want the police, who were being blamed for not solving any of the crimes and any of the murders, but if we want them to solve the crimes, we've got to talk to them.
Yes. And
we were saying to the police, if you want to solve these crimes, really want to solve them, you need to be talking to us. Exactly. We need to know what do you know from what you don't know. What we started to do, because we were going to a lot of community meetings. And then it was my husband that said, you know what, these community meetings, the police need to be here as well. They need to hear the anger, of people. They need to hear how people really feel, not just on the night when they put the tape round and then a couple of days to take the tape away and then it's all forgotten.
So one of the things of the conversations that we've had is about the guns and the type of guns that got into the hands of 13, 14, 15-year-olds. Guns that did not originate in this country.
Well, one of the things we were always saying to local and central government is the fact that, remember, this is the UK where guns are illegal.
Yes.
Also, we found out that a young man who was 14, who was arrested on the streets of Mossad with a Glashkanov weapon, they did forensics. Our local police did forensics on that weapon, and that weapon had been used in the Bosnia War. So now that was a question that I put to the Home Secretary. How does a weapon that's been used in the Bosnia War not only end up in the UK, in Manchester, and in the hands of a 14-year-old?
Yeah.
How does that happen when this 14-year-old didn't even know where Piccadilly train station was?
Let alone Bosnia.
Bosnia. Any young person that reached the criminal justice system, even till today, they've been failed by adults. Because no young person is born bad. You know, they're not born bad. They're not born wicked. They're not born naughty or, you know, horrible. They learn that unwanted behavior from adults, the adults that are around them. That's where they learn it from. We're failing our young people, and we've got to stop failing them if we want them to, you know, have a better future and to dream of a future. And one of the things we started to do through Peace Week, because we declared a week of peace every year, was enable young people to dream again. You know, enable them to dream.
It's great to talk about the people that have gone by, but there are people here right now on our doorstep that are living and breathing and show our appreciation for those individuals. And you, Professor Erinma Bell, are one of them, and I will always champion you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in to speak to me.
What a fantastic and heartfelt message there from Professor Erinma Bell. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and for Carol Ann for talking to her. Now, next up, we talked about it last week, and we've got them in the show today. We've got the Hospice here for butterflies. Thank you very much.
Wasn't that a beautiful video that I love butterflies,
so
don't you?
Oh, I do. But we've got in the studio
Mark and Elaine from Willow Wood Hospice. Hi.
Hello.
Thank you for coming in.
Hello.
First of all, can we just say this tie is incredible. If you can't see what's on this tie right now, it has got dragonflies, bees, grasshoppers, ladybugs. I'm just loving how insected up you are.
Is that a word?
It is
Yes,
now.
It is now.
I am wearing green fly spray actually.
Oh,
just
you
to keep them in
actually?
check.
Oh, say prepared. Now, you're here to talk to us about the Willow Wood Hospice and their butterflies.
Yeah.
What exactly is it?
It's a yearly event. Normally, people are allowed to come to the hospice and release the butterflies themselves that arrive in little boxes. And you hold the butterfly. We have a service led by Eddie, the chaplain, and we have 3 services over the day, and they're released, and it's absolutely beautiful. But unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions last year and this year, we're having to have a virtual butterfly release. So on the day, a few staff and volunteers will be in, and the butterflies will be released en masse, so people can still purchase them. You don't have to have been involved with the hospice at all. It can be for anybody
nice.
because it's in memory of somebody. It's absolutely beautiful. The butterflies will be still delivered, and then we'll put them in a mesh basket, and they'll all be released together. You can watch it on Facebook, and you can watch it on the Willowwood website. It's
And the
absolutely
name
beautiful.
of the person who's passed is going to be mentioned with each butterfly. Am I right, Mark?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
right. And so what we have is a little box with the chrysalis in it. So as one of the volunteers at the hospice holds the box, so their warmth from their hands and body hatches the chrysalis into the butterfly.
Oh,
so
that's beautiful.
it's such a personal thing, and then to have a name read out, and we've all suffered in this year. We don't need to go over
Yes.
how awful
We
it's all
have.
been,
We've
but
all had
we've
a very
all
hard
lost
year.
people.
Yeah.
And I think to have that, the money to go to a hospice, which is a fabulous cause anyway, but then to have that sort of memory made in that way is just beautiful. And then the butterfly goes off, and of course, goodness knows what the butterfly gets up to.
Such a lovely idea. So why butterflies then?
Oh, I don't really know. I've been there 4 years, so it's been the fourth year this year.
And
but
you
it's been
are a
going for number-
fundraiser, aren't you? Tell us your title again.
I'm community and engagement fundraiser.
And how many fundraisers are there? Do you know?
There's
within
just
your
two.
team?
Just
of you?
two.
Just two.
Just
wow.
two of us, yeah. Myself and Laura. So we're very, very busy, and during lockdown we've been organising virtual events and trying to look at different ways of raising money for the hospice. And for the first time ever this year, we're introducing metal butterflies.
Yes,
Yes.
I've noticed you
So,
brought that there with
which
you.
I've
It's
brought
lovely.
one with me.
And that's to put in the garden. If people want to buy one, they can
Yeah.
put it in the garden.
They can
couldn't
put it in their own garden, or we've got the most beautiful memorial garden now at the hospice. It's
Oh,
absolutely gorgeous, and that's where we'll be releasing the butterflies on the day, which is the 10th of
Do you want
July.
to show that into
Mm.
camera?
Show
just
us.
so
Yeah.
people can actually see it
Honestly,
properly.
if you want to buy one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
feel free.
How much are they?
The £30 and
£30.
the real butterflies are £15, and everybody who buys a real butterfly receives a certificate
Yeah.
after the event with
Oh,
the
that's
name
lovely.
the name
That's
of the
brilliant,
person
thank
that the butterfly is dedicated to.
Oh, that's
So it's
lovely.
absolutely gorgeous, yeah.
And what date is it?
10th of July.
10th of July.
July.
And what,
And they're
what
available.
time?
I'm not quite
It
sure.
goes
what
on through
time.
most of the day, so it'll
Yeah.
partly depend how many butterflies are purchased.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it has to be done in waves. As you saw on the film
Okay,
there,
yeah.
Yeah.
the gardens fill up with the butterflies, and then we have to
Absolutely.
wait for the next wave
Okay.
to come
Yeah.
through.
To
So,
come
Yeah.
through.
yes.
Yeah.
And that's such an amazing thing because obviously, you know, it's one of those things that we all learn through school is like the life cycle of a butterfly.
Absolutely.
And it's one of those I think everyone just knows through life
Yeah.
as you get
Absolutely.
older.
Yeah.
So to be able to have something so personal and
Yeah.
I love that thing with the warmth of
Well,
it.
it's that
That's
human
incredible.
connection.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
That does it. And I think, as Elaine said, the hospice covers Tameside and Glossop.
Mm-hmm.
But wherever you are, because you can watch, oddly enough, because you're able to
Yeah.
watch it in this way, and you can purchase the butterflies and make your donations through the website.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, whoever you're remembering, this
You
is
have
the
the option
perfect
to-
I
opportunity.
guess
to
really
do
as
it.
well, you know when you said why butterflies and you wasn't sure, it's just popped in my head now. You know I always say whatever pops in my mind,
Always.
you know it, don't you? But a lot of people symbolise, like, look at rainbows as a symbolism,
Yeah.
don't they?
Yes.
For like when people pass, like,
Yeah.
and then animals or people going
Yes.
over the rainbow bridge,
Robins and
etc.
things like that.
Well,
Yeah.
rainbows are different colours, as we know,
Yeah.
but butterflies are as well. So it's
Yeah.
almost like a living living rainbow,
It
isn't
is,
it? Really,
Yeah.
in that
and it's also
sense?
that life cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of the,
Yeah,
of the chrysalis
absolutely.
and so
Yeah.
on, and that rebirth.
Yeah, I
Well,
just think
it's
that's
that thing.
amazing.
It's especially it's like you said, you know, not to bring everyone down anyway, but a lot of us have lost a lot of people over the past year, whether
Yeah.
through the pandemic or other ways. A lot of us didn't get to see them.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of funerals have been, say, through
Yeah.
Zoom and
Yeah.
Skype and all that. I know
Yeah.
that quite a
So
few people I know
sad.
had to watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Having this and having the name right is almost like giving them that personal connection they didn't get in the past year.
I
or
think
so.
it's a very touching thing. It's it's a living thing.
Yeah.
And we were having a conversation off camera earlier. It is
Yeah.
about life coming out of
Yes.
tragedy. As I say, we've all come through this terrible time, but it is about remembering in this touching
And
way.
in a way as well, correct me if I'm wrong, but for me, when I lose someone, I actually believe that they go on somewhere
Yeah,
else.
absolutely.
And so it's almost like this is now like sort of the soul of the person
Well,
that
that's
that
it.
you've lost, and you're releasing it,
Yes.
and it's flying off somewhere nice.
That's
and-
right. I got involved in the hospice. My partner died 4 years ago, and I always do this with the butterfly.
Yeah.
And you latch on to things like a robin appearing or whatever it is,
Absolutely.
and I think that gives us
Definitely.
great comfort and solace as a human being, and it's about
So,
the human.
what's the website that people can actually go on and book their ticket, as it were, and pay for a
It's the
butterfly?
Willowwood Hospice website.
Willowwood
So it's
Hospice website? No.
willowwood.info, and if you go on there, you're going to see the flyer which you've got. You'll
Yes,
see the
we
image
have
of
a
the
lovely
flyer.
little flyer
Can we
here.
get the
Yeah.
If you see
camera on
these
that?
in and around Manchester, do feel free to pick one up. That'll give you a lot more
Yeah.
information.
And there's a very easy form to fill in, and you give your details, you give the name of the person that you want to remember and to be read out on the day. You can do as many of those as you like.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank
Fantastic.
you
Thank
so
you so
much
much.
for
You're very
coming into
welcome.
the
Thanks for
studio
coming
and
on.
Thank
joining
you for
us.
inviting us. It's been wonderful. Thank
Oh,
you.
no, it's a pleasure, honestly.
It's been incredible. And obviously, this tie. Thank you for bringing this tie.
Oh,
That
I'm
is my
upset
main
at
thing.
Wear my butterfly t-shirt now.
Every time Mark comes in now, I'm going to expect him
If
to
I don't
have
see
a
a
particular
cobblestone
tie.
tie next time you're in here, I'll be disappointed.
I'll try.
Next up, we have the travel counsellors, who are going to be telling us where you can go.
You
As
nearly
we
caught
came
us
back,
all talking
I
then.
apologise to everyone there as we came back. Thank you so much to our director for that one. Hayley, what's up
Now,
next?
what we got next? Well, we have Paul showing us his flower.
Hello my lovely weather watchers and welcome to this week's weather forecast with me, Paul Rudd. And happy Pride Month as well. Hope you've all been enjoying the sun because guess what? It's going to get hot. So let's have a look at this week's fabulous sunny weather. Take a look at this. Alright, Thursday is looking sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 22 degrees Celsius. Friday is looking sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 20 degrees Celsius. And as we head into the weekend right now, Saturday is sunny and cloudy with the temperatures of 22 degrees Celsius. And Sunday, the sun will have his hat on because it will be hotter with the temperatures of 25 degrees Celsius. So slap that sun cream on, get the hat on and drink plenty of fluids. That's it for this week's weather. Do join me again next week. And now it's time to hand over back to the studio for this week's amazing episode of Your Manchester.
Well, you heard it here first. You
Yes,
need to
you
get
did.
your hat on. The
Get
sun
your hat
has
on.
got its
I
hat
always
on.
like to get myself a few fluids in every day, to be fair. So it's always keep yourself hydrated, people.
Well, we don't get anything else near you. We don't get a tan, do we?
Well, no, it's
You
never
have to
gonna
have
happen, is
something,
it?
don't we?
That's why I sit in this dark studio. Have you had a good show?
Oh, I've had a brilliant show, have you?
Oh, that's fantastic. It's been so nice to do this.
It's been great working together,
Oh,
hasn't
it's
it?
been so nice. Thank you so much to everyone who's also joined us. Mark and all the hospice, do feel free to check out the website and see if you can get yourself a butterfly. And also, don't forget, we're doing our live show at Hope Fest at Hope Mill Theatre.
And when is it?
It's on July 20th at 7:30. Tickets are available now, where you can see this fabulous pair live. Why wouldn't you want a ticket to that?
Exactly.
So, thanks very much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on
Your Manchester.